Remember what it was like to be a kid? To explore and play. To roam free all day. In Jamestown, North Carolina, we get out of the grind and escape into the moment. People feel good here. Let loose here. Eat well here. Feel swell here. We go for a ride or an afternoon stroll. We cheer each other on. And go for the goal. Here, a treasured history meets the energy of a town on the rise. In a place with true heart and soul, and where we have our own special beat. Jamestown, North Carolina, where history and possibility meet.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Yes, Councilmember Wolf.
Here.
Councilmember Capes.
Here.
Mayor Montgomery.
Here.
Councilmember Strawn.
Here.
Councilmember Rayburn.
Here.
A quorum is present.
Please rise. Councilmember Strong, would you lead us in the pledge? Please bow your heads for a moment of silence. Thank you. Council, do I have any changes to the agenda?
Yes, I'd like to request to remove public hearings regarding the annexation request, rezoning request, and development agreement for D.R. Horton properties located at 2221 Guilford College Road, 5300 Mackey Road, 2207 Guilford College Road, and 5303 Mackey Road, because they've been continued to the November 15th regular town council meeting. And also, please remove the consideration of use of lease agreement with Pinecroft Sedgefield Fire Department under new business.
Second.
Any other changes?
Oh, sorry.
Don't have any.
I jumped the gun, didn't I?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. And do I have an approval of the consent agenda?
Motion to approve the consent agenda as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Anna, has anyone signed up for public comment?
Nobody signed up.
Thank you. Okay, Chief Carson, I saw you come in. If you'll meet me at the podium. In recognition of fire prevention month in proclamation, even though you didn't do it. Whereas fires can take lives, devastate communities, and destroy our homes and businesses. And whereas fires pose a threat to Americans across our nation and state, and they cost us billions of dollars each year. And whereas Fire Prevention Month emphasizes the importance of taking steps to prevent fires, and whereas October is a good time to test smoke alarms in places of work and homes to ensure alarms are working properly, and whereas all Americans should develop and practice a fire evacuation plan that allows for swift exits from places of work or home, And whereas it is important to teach our children about fire prevention and fire safety. And whereas we owe a great debt to our brave first responders and firefighters who run toward the scene of a disaster to fight fires. And whereas these individuals are heroes that demonstrate courage, determination, and professionalism every day as they battle flames and smoke. Now therefore I, Lynn Montgomery, Mayor of the town of Jamestown, on behalf of the Town Council and the citizens of Jamestown, do hereby proclaim October 2022 as Fire Prevention Month and urge all citizens of the town to practice their best efforts to prevent fires and their tragic consequences. Thank you. And Councilmember Rayburn, would you present the proclamation to the library? All right. And if everyone who is associated with the library would come forward to the podium.
I will. Whereas Friends of Library groups across the United States are dedicated to the support of libraries as institutions essential to democracy and lifelong learning, and whereas Friends of North Carolina libraries support local Friends groups by helping them integrate the library thoroughly with the life and work of the community they serve, and whereas Friends groups advocate for funding that will provide libraries with the necessary print and electronic materials, expert assistance in research, technology, equipment, and services for all ages from the very young to the senior citizen. And whereas Friends of the Jamestown Public Library promote the joys and benefits of literacy, learning, and economic well-being for community members of all ages by investing time and effort in raising supplementary funds to enhance library resources and programming. And whereas Friends of the Jamestown Public Library also volunteer to help provide services and materials to their patrons. And whereas the gifts of time and commitment by Friends of the Jamestown Public Library set a positive example of civic engagement that benefits both volunteers and their communities. Therefore, I, Rebecca Mann Rayborn, on behalf of Mayor and Town Council, do hereby proclaim October 16th through 22nd, 2022 as Friends of Libraries Week in the town of Jamestown, and encourage all citizens to join me in this worthy observance.
In a previous life, Martha had a photo studio.
And if you're not a member, I just happened to bring some brochures. They'll be right here for you to pick up. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anna, would you present the information on the annexation request for the property at 4718 Harvey Road?
Mayor, members of council, under General Statute 160A 31, the town has received a petition for the annexation of property located at 4718 Harvey Road. As a first step, the town council directed the clerk to investigate the petition by adopting a resolution instructing her to do such. The clerk and town attorney have investigated the petition and have found it to be sufficient, and a public hearing on the matter was scheduled. This annexation is in conjunction with a conditional rezoning request for 86 townhomes with an option of limited commercial uses. One of the most common remarks and concerns voiced during the public hearing at the planning board level was about traffic concerns and increased traffic, specifically around Jamestown Middle and Haynes Inman Education Center. The planning board suggested, and the applicant accepted, the condition that there be the completion of a TIA, or traffic impact analysis, before the hearing was heard by council. The completion of this traffic impact analysis is a condition for the rezoning portion of this public hearing. At this time, the TIA has been submitted to North Carolina DOT, but is still under review. Therefore, staff respectfully requests that the town council continue this public hearing without further advertisement until the November 15th, 2022 regular meeting. If you have questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. I believe the applicant is also here to give an update.
Any questions for Anna? Thank you, Anna. And is someone here to speak for the applicant?
Good evening,
Hi.
Mayor Montgomery and members of the council. My name is Charlie Hall. I'm here tonight to represent Land Acquisition and Development Services. My address is 1007 Battleground Avenue. And tonight with me as well, I have Tom Hall, also with Land Acquisition and Development Services. So I did get an update today from Bobby Norris with the North Carolina Department of Transportation, and he is reviewing our project as we speak. I did speak with him last week as well, and I believe there's about 6 projects ahead of us in the queue. So he finally has gotten to ours, so we should have something to you guys before the November 15th meeting. So tonight, I guess we just ask for your permission to move our meeting to the November 15th council meeting.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions, council, at this time? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Since we've advertised this as a public hearing concerning this, I will open it to anyone in the audience who would like to speak. We will not be making a decision on this evening, but we are here to hear from you. Please come to the podium and state your name and address.
My name is Jean Regan. I live at 4823 Harvey Road, Jamestown. I am 2 driveways down from Haynes Road. I have gotten held up numerous times in the middle school carpool line. The majority of the buses come out of Hethwood. I would like some of the people who spoke before me to go through there about 3:15 to 3:30 on any given day and experience for themselves what it's like. I've realized that the homes will probably go through. I am totally opposed to any retail on Harvey Road. That road is curvy. There are not any turn lanes there. And it is an accident waiting to happen when you add more on top of what's already there. So I hope that the town council will very carefully consider what they allow to go in there and not to go in there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would anyone else like to speak? Seeing none, I'll return to council. Council, do I have a motion to continue this hearing?
Well, I'll make a motion to continue this public hearing to the November 15th regular town council meeting at 6 p.m. in the Civic Center without further advertisement.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Anna, would you like to present the rezoning information?
As mentioned previously, petition for rezoning has been received and reviewed by the planning board. The staff recommended that the council set a public hearing date for tonight, October 18th, for consideration of the rezoning of the parcels located at 4718 Harvey Road for rezoning from agricultural to conditional zoning bypass. A condition of this rezoning request is the completion of a TIA. At this time, the traffic impact analysis has been submitted and is under review by NCDOT. Therefore, staff respectfully requests that the town council continue this public hearing without further advertisement until the November 15th regular scheduled council meeting.
Thank you. Again, I'll ask if anyone is in the audience who would like to speak concerning this public hearing. Seeing none, we'll return to council. Do I have a motion to continue?
Well, I was going to ask Anna if I could get another copy of this application, the plan application. For on my copy anyway, the answers kept getting in smaller and smaller letters. And then finally, the one describing potential impacts I can't read, so you can just get that to me before.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. That was all.
Okay.
So if there's no other questions, I'd be glad to make a motion to continue the public hearing to the November 15th regular town council meeting at 6 PM in the Civic Center without further advertisement.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Thank you. Ross, new business, would you give us a golf course report?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is, well, let's get to the right page here. First quarter report for the golf course. Comparative to first quarter last year, paid rounds seem to be roughly the same. Revenue was up, green fee revenue was up 8%, and the cart and range fees were up 4%. That even being with our driving range tee renovation, which began in August and ran through September. So that was about a 5-week process to renovate the driving range. So it's now back open, and the feedback so far has been very positive. So merchandise sales up 28%. We had quite a few special orders in there for that increase. Food and beverage sales up slightly. And August and September were really busy tournament months for us, so we did a lot of tournaments. And highlighted by our Men's Association, our JGA Honor the Veterans Tournament, which was a good tournament. Everybody enjoys playing in that. So yeah, it's been a busy quarter, and you know, the weather's turning nice, and everybody wants to play golf. And I can answer any questions y'all might have.
Well, have you met with the golf consultants that are doing the strategic plan update for us?
We have, yes. They were here for 2 days, and they met with some of our golfers out at the golf course, met with the staff, and we did a tour of the golf course. I think they did a tour of the golf course with Jamie as well. So, yeah, we had a good 2 days with them. So
Any idea when they'll be coming back, or
that,
they didn't share with you?
they did not. So I think they've gathered all their information, and I think they're working on their report now, so.
Okay, thank you.
I played the course a couple of weeks back. You should have about a dozen extra balls out there laying around somewhere. But it played good. I was quite impressed with the way it was kept up. So.
Great. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ross.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ross.
Jamie, would you give us the update on the Parks and Rec portion of the golf course?
Good evening, Mayor Montgomery and council. Hope you all are doing well. First thing is, well, the summer, going back to the summer months, everything went pretty well. We had some irrigation leaks. We continue to have those, continue to repair those. Our biggest irrigation leak was on number 12. It was a 10-inch main line, but we got that fixed. Everything's holding up. That happened in late July, so that set us back a little bit. But got it fixed, got it repaired, and it's holding well. We had a little bit of equipment issues with heights, but we got those fixed. The grass got higher than we would like, and we cut it down. But it's fine. Everything looks good now. It just held us back a little bit on that, and maybe slow played down a little bit because the heights of the grass were a little bit higher than normal. The greens held up nice. I think everybody enjoyed playing on them. They were better than last year, and we expect that they will be better even next year. I think they'll be But they look good, they're healthy, they're green, and getting a lot of play. Fall and winter. This fall and winter, we're now applying our pre-emerge wall-to-wall for our weeds, our spring annuals coming up. And with the freezing weather coming in tomorrow night, it looks like we may get our first frost earlier than normal. Last year, we had it November 5th, so we might get it tomorrow morning. And with that, the trees should start changing color quick, and hopefully they'll drop their leaves off soon so we can mulch those up and blow those and get that large task completed. Maybe November, mid-November, we'll start staging our covers for our greens. So when we get frigid temperatures, we can protect those greens, and we'll keep the greens hydrated and make sure they stay healthy and ready to open for next season. After the leaves fall, we'll continue putting out mulch in bare areas, and we probably rent a chipper or a cherry picker and kind of canopy trees up and cut our dead trees out that are dead, and just help the overall aesthetics of the golf course. And bunker work. We'll continue to work on bunkers. We'll improve on those bunkers as best we can. We're applying new sand, cutting out the fabric, and just do the best with what we got for now.
I emptied some of that sand out for you.
It's excellent golf balls.
And our equipment preventative maintenance, we'll continue to check all our fluids, make sure all our antifreeze is up to date, so nothing freezes and busts. We'll sharpen our blades, have everything ready to go for the next season in perfect working order condition as best we can. And we did get our new sprayer. We ordered our sprayer July 17th, 21. We got it 2 weeks ago. But it's nice, and we very much appreciate it. And we're using it now to put our pre-merge out.
Well, it'll be good for next year.
Our new building, we're keeping a close eye on that. They're starting to put in the foundation, the dirt, just building it up, creating a good foundation. Then they'll pour the floor. And they say the metal building will arrive around late November. And when the metal building gets here, they tell me that it will be erected fairly quick. And they also tell me that we could be moving in March or April of next year. Okay. So we're very excited about that and very appreciative of it, and can't wait to move in and move forward. Is there any questions I can answer?
You mentioned the grass was a little high.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's where I lost all my balls. They didn't go in the woods. They were close to the fairway. They were just in that little fringe area, I'm pretty sure.
Right off the green, right?
Yeah, just right off. I told my son, I said, it's in the fairway somewhere. We just got to find it. I did notice you were, or someone was riding around with the puppy. I didn't see any geese the whole time, or even after I saw it. But it was pretty cool to watch that dog run beside the cart as y'all were running out.
Yeah, she's fast. Too smart. But yeah, they're not hanging around anymore. When we see them, we saw some today, and we drove around the ponds and let them know that we're still there. But it's working.
That's good. Well, did you have much damage from the hurricane, Ian?
Not a lot. We had 2 trees down, one on number 5. It's just the tops. We got those cleaned up. Just a lot of debris. Got the debris up. That set us back a little bit, but nothing major. We felt fortunate.
Yeah, definitely. Good.
Really did.
Thank you.
Regarding the leak on number 12, is that typically, and this is probably just a dumb question, but are you patching or are you replacing sections of piping?
We're replacing sections of pipe.
Okay.
It was where it joined in, is a rubber O-ring had split, and it was leaking. I had to shut 2 holes down.
Gotcha.
Go in there and dig it out with a backhoe,
Good times.
find the parts. Yeah,
You using that stuff he advertised, that Flex Seal, you can just spray it on it?
that's exactly what we use.
That's good stuff.
Any other questions? Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Elizabeth, would you update us on the fall litter sweep?
Thank you, Mayor and Council, and all of the staff and the people present this evening. I did want to give an update on our litter sweep that we held on September 24th. We did that Saturday morning between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. We had 47 participants. Thank you for the ones that were able to join us that day, and 39 bags of trash. The 6 locations that we targeted that day were on our Main Street corridor. We left Food Lion, and a large group went straight up toward Mendenhall Home Place, and then another large group went from Food Lion all the way up Guilford Road, and then another group went over to Lydia's Bridge and up that direction. We did have some of our younger participants, as we found we needed to make sure we had an area for them that was off of the main thoroughfare and streets, and we did target the area around Jamestown Elementary and Jamestown Library. We also had a group from our Rotary Club that was able to help us target the Oakdale Road and Harvey Road and River Road, the entry that comes into Jamestown. And then our Civitans were able to help us along Scientific Street, which is a very highly, it's just trash on both sides, and the traffic is just really hard. So we try to make sure that we have a strong group of participants there that can help us with that dangerous area. We do plan to continue to participate in our spring litter sweep. The exact date by DOT has not been distributed out yet, but I did have contact to the representative at DOT and let them know that we want to always be included and be able to help in any way that we can in our community to keep Jamestown beautiful. So, any other thoughts or questions?
Were you able to get the tire situation?
Yes, the first day that the team from DOT came to pick up the trash bags, and they left some tires on Guilford Road, and I was anxious trying to figure out if that was a change in their policy of picking up anything and everything that we pull to the road edge, and then they did come back the next week, so they must have just had a need to take it to a different location to drop
Right,
off.
well, good, I'm glad they still do that.
They left one of the blowout recaps up near Guilford and Guilford College, because I literally dropped the bag in the center of it. They took the bag, left the recap. Next time, I'm just gonna put it in a bag.
Yeah. Well, we do have a few people that, when they left that day, asked me could they keep their vest and a few bags. And so on occasion, I have had someone call me and let me know that they picked up an extra site, like down at the bridge at East Fork and a couple of other locations. You even went back another day later on, and I really appreciate that, because we want to offer our community an opportunity not only to participate the day of, but anytime that they see an area that needs to be targeted. So I'll help in any way that I can to get them that equipment and those supplies, because some days it's not just there on the morning that we are. We can see it a few months later, and we need to make sure
Well,
we
it sure
address
makes a difference, because it looks so nice once we've been through that sweep.
Yeah.
But then it's sad to see it start getting litter after that.
And if there's any groups that want to participate on their own
Call the
next
town
week, all they've
hall.
got to do is call the town hall, and you've
Right.
got the bags and other safety equipment for them.
Yes, we do.
Correct, thank you.
And thank you for setting this up every year, or
Yes.
twice a year.
Yeah, it is 2 times a year, so we'll keep that tradition going. Thank you, Martha, for the years that you set that example, and I hope that we can continue that.
Well, thank you for continuing it, yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks, Liz.
Anna, would you present the information on the Accessibility for Parks grant?
Good evening. Tonight, staff is asking for council support of an AFP grant application, which is the Accessibility for Parks Grant. This is a one-time $10 million funding source from the North Carolina Division of Parks and Recreation. The grant is specifically for parks and recreation grants that will benefit children and/or veterans with disabilities in North Carolina. The grant guidelines require products to have universal design, meaning the design of products and environments are usable by all people to have the greatest extent possible without adaptation or specialized design. So this includes things like ramps to the top of playgrounds, transfer stations onto slides, and the inclusion of sensory and social opportunities throughout. The 2021 Jamestown Comprehensive Parks and Recreation Plan specifically identifies the an inclusive playground as a replacement for the town's existing but well-loved playground. One of the reasons for this forethought and design is Jamestown's unique presence of not one but two schools in town, C.J. Green and Haynes Inman Education Center, that serve students with cognitive and physical disabilities up to age 22. If the town was awarded the grant, the playground design would include input from occupational therapists and recreational teachers at those schools to ensure the needs of those communities are met. In addition to a universal design playground, the grant application includes accessible therapeutic fitness equipment and accessible yard games. The application has been reviewed by our region's Recreational Resource Service to ensure we have a complete and competitive application. And it has been presented to and has received the support of the Jamestown Rotary and veterans. Also, both C.J. Green and Haynes Inman Education Center were excited to hear about this grant opportunity and will be providing letters of support as well. The Parks and Recreation Committee supported this 2 months ago during their meeting. And the town is also hosting, the Parks and Rec Department is hosting a Pumpkins in the Park event on Thursday from 4 to 6 to share information about the grant application and also paint some pumpkins to make it a little more fun while we're at it. This grant is similar to a Part F grant that we recently received and applied for and received. The AFP grant is unique, though, that its match is significantly lower than a Part F application. The traditional Part F grant that we apply for, which is Parks and Rec Fund, is a 1 to 5 match. So they give us $5, we give them $1. I'm sorry. The Part F grant is a 1 to 1 match. So the most recent one is they gave us $215,000. We give them $215,000 in match. This grant is a 1 to 5 match, meaning we ask for the maximum amount of $500,000 and our match is $100,000, so significantly less. The proposed grant request is for the town to request the maximum amount of $500,000. This is as suggested by our Recreation Resource Services. So the town would provide a match of $100,000. The applications are due on November 1st. And grants will be awarded in the spring of 2023. Like the Part F applications, if the grant is awarded, we would have 3 years to finish the project. I'm happy to answer any questions, but tonight what we're doing is asking for council's support for that grant application.
I was just wondering what the amount of the grant was, and you gave that in your presentation, so that's all I was curious of.
Any other questions?
That's great. I think it's exciting.
Yeah, it sounds wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anna.
So
Council, do we have a motion to
I'll
support this
make a
accessibility
motion,
grant?
to support the accessibility for parks grant application.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
And wish you good luck.
Thank you. Paul, would you speak to us about the public hearing for solid waste ordinance, for the solid waste ordinance?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Public Services Department would like to present proposed changes to the solid waste ordinance to the Town Council. Staff requests the council set a public hearing date for consideration of changes of the ordinance for solid waste collection for the town of Jamestown for the November 15th, 2022 regular meeting at 6 o'clock in the Civic Center.
We got a lot going on.
Yeah, seriously.
Be a busy meeting.
Yes.
It's been a long meeting.
We did. You sure you want to do it in November?
2023 is just around the corner.
I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding, yeah. Well, sure, I would make a motion to set the public hearing date for amendments to the solid waste ordinance for the November 15th regular town council meeting at 6 PM in the Civic Center.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Faith, your first time to present to us. The consideration for approval of the contract with Jamestown Youth League.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The town wishes to provide recreation services to the citizens of Jamestown. The town does not have the available staffing levels to be able to do this. So thus, we wish to contract with the Jamestown Youth League, JYL, to provide these services. The town proposes to fund up to $10,000 for these recreation services for the youth residents. JYL has provided a listing of possible programs and the cost of each based on the number of Jamestown resident participants. To fulfill the provision of services, a contract has been prepared which specifies the terms of the provisions of these services. The town staff requests that town council approve the amount up to $10,000 of funding for services and the contract, which will be entered into by JYL and the town.
Any questions for Faith?
Just assuming Beth has already reviewed.
Yes, sir. This is the same contract that we have used in the past for other nonprofits where we've contracted for services, most recently, the Y.
Thank you.
I just, on the Exhibit A, and it says that, of course, they would supply us a list of the children that have a Jamestown address, and we would verify that that's within the city limits when you get your list from them.
Yes, ma'am. They are supposed to, once the season ends, they're supposed to provide us a list, and then we will reimburse them or,
Because
fund
there's
them based off of the.
A lot of
address.
Jamestown addresses that are not inside city limits, so we would be able to verify that. So
Yes,
that's-
ma'am.
That sounds good to me, uh-huh.
Do you have a motion?
I move to approve funding of up to $10,000 for JYL providing recreation services for youth who are Jamestown residents.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Matthew, do you have a manager's report for us?
Do we also need to approve the contract?
Hold on one second.
You can amend your motion to say, and also
Okay.
the contract in the amount of $10,000.
Okay.
Okay.
I'd like to amend that motion.
Please amend your
And include up to $10,000 approving the contract with JYL for the provision of those services.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank
and
you,
Amy.
sorry about that.
Matthew?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Pleasure to be with you this evening. Under the manager's report, we have a few things to go through, so bear with me. The town hosted the band 80s Nation at our Music in the Park season finale on Friday, October the 7th. And I will say that we probably exceeded our previous attendance records. It was a really well-attended event. We have secured a lineup for the 2023 Music in the Park events, which is goal 3.1 to further develop music in the park and other town-sponsored events of the council's strategic plan. We did get some feedback this year from our events, and we have identified the need for some additional food trucks, some beverage vendors, and the need for public restrooms. We are in the process of expanding our food and beverage offerings, and we look forward to bringing you a really great season next season. We are finalizing plans with the architect and engineers for the addition of restrooms as well in the park, which is goal 5.10, 5.10. Prepare plans for updating and installing restroom and shelters for golf and recreation facilities. I will say we are also working on the golf course restrooms as well. Those are in desperate need of replacement. A demonstration project highlighting the neighborhood slow streets near Jamestown Elementary and the library was held on October the 5th. I do want to thank Anna and Paul for their work on that event. There were several citizens who were able to participate, including a local Girl Scout troop and the Kappa Delta sorority members from High Point University, so we thank them for coming out as well. And this satisfies goal 7.1 to review and update the comprehensive pedestrian transportation plan in your strategic plan as well. Dementia Symposium was held in conjunction with the Alzheimer's Association on October 11th in this room to help assist in fostering a better understanding of that disease, improving communication strategies with those suffering from dementia, and responding to dementia-related behaviors. We had about 25 people that were able to join us last Tuesday. Many thanks to Laura Gullidge and the Councilmember Rayburn for their work in arranging that event, and to Elizabeth Greason also for helping to coordinate that through our front offices here. The town has selected the National Golf Foundation Consulting. Ross is going to steal my thunder. Who was able to come and conduct a golf course strategic plan. The kickoff process occurred on October 5th and 6th. The consultant met with staff, the council, and some key stakeholders to gain a better understanding of the conditions of the course. National Golf Foundation will be assisting in performing a high-level review of the market and the Jamestown Park Golf Course facility, with the primary objective of identifying the best business practice recommendations for operations, staffing, pricing, capital investments, and potential new revenue opportunities aimed at improving the financial performance of the golf course, which is goal 5.7 in the strategic plan. Just to update you on that, they are working on it, as Ross said. They're going to be coming back to us with a little bit more requests for information as they try to finalize that plan. Loose leaf collection, which we are very proud of here, begins on Monday, October 24th, and runs continuously through February 24th. That's Friday, February 24th. During this time, residents may place loose leaves at the curbs for collection. Please keep the piles clear of sticks, debris, rocks, things that can damage our equipment. Try to keep cars and those types of things away from those big piles. There is a guide to how that loose leaf collection is done, and that can be found on the town's website and on our Facebook account. Mendenhall Home Place will be featuring an after-dark tour of the property and an event called True Tales of the Macabre. On Friday, October 28th, 6:30 p.m., you may contact Mendenhall Home Place for information. They do have a banner out here in front of Town Hall as well with that information. I did want to add one item. I am pleased, we just got this information today. I did share it with an email with you. But I am pleased to announce that our land development ordinances are now available online with the Municode website at the link that is in the email that I sent to you. That link is going to be put onto our website momentarily soon. And this represents completion of our Town Council Strategic Plan Goal number 8.3 to maintain and update the town's code of ordinances. Now, that will be an ongoing, continual goal for us because that's a living, breathing document for us. So I want to let you know, and I want to let the public know that those are out there. So we're very happy to have that out, and a lot of credit goes to Anna and Ty for going through that and doing a check on all of those ordinance pages. That's a lot of work. So thank them.
I bet that was fun.
Thank them very much for that. And finally, it gives me great pleasure to introduce a brand-new team member to the Town Council and the citizens of Jamestown. Dana? I'd like to introduce Dana Benson as our questions for me. I'll be able to come back afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Dana Benson. I'm very happy to be working for the town of Jamestown. I've grown up in Jamestown, always lived in and around Jamestown. Family's pretty deeply rooted here, so Jamestown is very near and dear to my heart. And I look forward to getting to work with all of you. Thank you.
Good to
Welcome to
have you.
Jamestown.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Council, do we have any committee reports?
Well, we had a TAC meeting, but really our district engineer did say the new Oakdale Road Bridge is open to traffic. It opened really the first of the month. And he did say the bypass project is running ahead of schedule. Weather permitting, they hope to complete it this year, which actually the completion date was October 2023. So I asked him that again to make sure I didn't mess up, but that's what he said. So that would be awesome.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's all I had.
Don't really have anything other than the aforementioned event this Thursday that Anna has already mentioned as far as the pumpkin painting and surveying. I think it will be a great turnout. I hope to see a lot of people there, and that's really all I've got. Other than that, nothing.
Did you have anything? Rebecca?
No planning board meeting.
Thank you. Katie, was anyone signed up for public comment period?
Nobody signed up.
Thank you. Council, any other business at this time?
I was just going to mention the Jamestown Pig Picking for Family Services is October the 29th. This year, it's going to be at a private residence in Sedgeville, but you can still get tickets and sponsorships on their website.
Do you have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?